Ladies and gentlemen, there is a power greater than luck, stronger than talent, and more dependable than circumstances. That power is your positive mental attitude. Every thought you allow to take root in your mind begins a chain reaction. Like seeds planted in fertile soil, they grow, whether weeds or wonders. If you plant fear, you will reap failure. But if you plant hope, belief, and faith in yourself, you will harvest victory. You have the ultimate power, the power to choose your thoughts. When adversity knocks on your door, and it will, you have two choices. You can curse the storm, or you can become the storm. A positive mental attitude doesn't ignore the struggle, it transforms it. It says, I will find the opportunity. I will rise again. I will make this work for me. You see, success doesn't come to the man who waits for the perfect day. It comes to the man who creates the perfect day by adjusting his attitude, not his goals. And here's the truth. Many here's the truth. Many overlook. You become what you believe. If you see yourself as weak, life will mirror that belief. But if you declare to yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am unstoppable, the world will begin to align with that truth. A burning desire backed by a positive mental attitude is unbeatable. When you set a clear goal, your attitude becomes the fuel that drives you. Even in the darkest tunnel, PMA lights the way. And remember this, like a track's light. When your mind radiates confidence, positivity, and determination that motivates people, opportunities and resources find you. They're drawn not to your luck, but to your mental frequency. But PMA isn't something you do once and forget. It's a daily decision. It's the discipline of choosing belief over doubt, courage over fear, action over hesitation, every single day. So make that choice now. Chase, now. Decide that from this day forward, no matter what comes, your mind will be a garden of power, not a prison of doubt. Speak victory. See possibilities. Act with boldness. Because when your attitude is right, nothing is impossible. Would you like this formatted into a script, poster, or something else? Sheridan? Your thoughts are seeds. And just like seeds planted in soil, they grow into something. Whether that something is positive or negative depends entirely on the nature of the seeds you plant. Each thought you have is an invisible yet powerful full force that has the potential to create, shape, and define your reality. Think about it. Everything around you started as a thought, whether it's a building, a business, a relationship, or a dream. The world is a direct reflection of the thoughts that were once planted in someone's mind. And the thoughts you have today are no different. They will shape your future, whether you realize it or not. Imagine your mind as a fertile garden. Every thought you entertain is like a seed you decide to plant. If you think about growth, possibilities, and abundance, those are the seeds of success you're planting. But if you dwell on doubt, fear, and scarcity, you're planting weeds that will choke your potential. The garden doesn't discriminate. It will nurture whatever you plant. The key is understanding that you are the gardener of your own mind. You get to choose which seeds you plant. The process is simple. Thoughts lead to emotions. Emotions lead to actions, and actions create results. Negative thoughts breed negative emotions, which lead to negative actions and eventually negative outcomes. But positive thoughts generate feelings of hope, empowerment, and possibility, which drive actions aligned with success. This is why the quality of your thoughts is so critical. When you focus on thoughts that inspire, empower, and motivate you, you set the stage for achieving your goals. Because if negative thoughts dominate your mind, you plant seeds of failure. The challenge is that thoughts aren't always easy to control. Negative thinking patterns are often ingrained over time, shaped by past experiences, beliefs, and the world around us. But this doesn't mean you're stuck with them. You have the power to choose your thoughts. It may take time and consistent effort, but by consciously choosing to replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you can begin to shift the direction of your life. To nurture your garden of success, you must weed out negative thoughts as soon as they appear. Don't allow them to take root. When you catch yourself thinking thoughts of doubt or fear, challenge them. Replace them with affirmations, empowering beliefs, and thoughts of possibility. Over time, as you feed your mind with positive, purposeful thoughts, you'll start to see the garden of your life transform into something beautiful, something full of potential, just waiting to bloom. Sure, thoughts are seeds. Choose them wise. Control the inner dialogue, and you begin to control your destiny. Within every one of us, there is a voice that speaks quietly but constantly. It is the voice of belief or doubt, strength or weakness, faith or fear. Here, that voice becomes the lens through which we view the world and ultimately how we perform in it. Most people walk through life never realizing that this inner conversation, this silent self-talk, is either their greatest ally or their most persistent enemy. They think thoughts are just happen, but the truth is every thought can be directed, molded, and shaped with conscious effort. You don't wake up one day with a positive mental attitude by chance. It begins with intentional discipline over what you allow yourself to say silently, when no one else is listening. When you're faced with a challenge, what do you tell yourself? Do you say, I can handle this, I've got what it takes? Or do you say, this is too hard, I'm not ready? That sentence you choose at that very moment becomes your reality. The mind doesn't argue with you. It simply accepts what you say and sets out to prove you right. Say you're beaten, and your subconscious will drain your energy. Say you're rising, and it will find the strength you didn't know you had. To master the inner dialogue is to assume responsibility for your mental state. It's refusing to let fear, worry, doubt, or past failures dictate the tone of your future. You can't control every circumstance, but you can absolutely control your mental response. Every time you replace the I can't with I can, you shift the entire trajectory of your life. This takes practice. It requires self-awareness and the courage to challenge your old programming. Many of us were conditioned by our environments to think small, to be cautious, to avoid risk, to expect little. But that conditioning can be rewritten. Start by listening to yourself. Catch the negative statements. Interrupt them. Replace them. Place them. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love and believe in. If you wouldn't say it to a friend chasing a dream, don't say it to yourself. Affirm your worth. Speak strength. Reinforce your purpose. When your inner voice becomes your coach instead of your critic, your potential expands. Doors open. Energy returns. Challenges shrink. Control the inner dialogue, and you gain the power to rewrite your story from the inside out. Because the conversation you have with yourself sets the tone for everything else in your life. Adversity is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of transformation. Life will test you. That's not a question, it's a promise. No one escapes difficulty, hardship, or failure. But the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck lies in how they view adversity. Most people see it as a curse, something to avoid, something that signals defeat. But those who succeed, those who truly understand the power of a positive mental attitude, see adversity for what it really is, an opportunity in disguise. When something goes wrong, the average mind focuses on the loss, the pain, or the setback. But a disciplined, empowered mind immediately asks, where is the lesson? Where is the gift? How can I grow from this? That simple shift in perception changes everything. Because the truth is, adversity forces growth. It introduces you to parts of yourself you didn't know existed. It demands strength you've never used. It teaches resilience, creativity, patience, and grit. Quality success is built upon. Every great achiever has faced hardship. Not one of them became successful by avoiding difficulty. In fact, their breakthroughs were often born from breakdowns. The most powerful success stories are usually rooted in failure, rejection, or massive obstacles. Why? Because adversity strips away weakness. It tests your belief in yourself. And if you choose to stay standing, if you decide to respond with courage instead of retreat, you become stronger than the adversity itself. You must begin to welcome challenges, not with fear, but with faith. Faith that every struggle is shaping you, refining you, preparing you for what you've asked for. Sometimes adversity comes not to block your path, but to prepare you for the level you're trying to reach. You can't build mental muscles without resistance. You can't become unshakable if you're never shaken. This is where your attitude becomes everything. You can't always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose how you interpret it. The most powerful people don't have easier lives. They have better perspectives. They look at pain and say, hey, there's power in this. There's something here for me. They don't wait for the storm to pass. They learn how to dance in the rain. So the next time life knocks you down, remember, you are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are being prepared. Every adversity is shaping the kind of person who can handle the success you're aiming for. Look deeper. There's gold hidden in the dirt. If you have the courage to dig, you become what you believe, not what you wish, not what you hope, not even what you say out loud. What you truly believe deep down becomes the architecture of your reality. The thoughts you accept as truth shape your actions, your habits, your relationships, and ultimately your destiny. Your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. If you believe you are capable, deserving, and destined for greatness, then your mind will organize itself around that truth. If you believe you are limited, unlucky, or unworthy, that too will become your experience. The mind is always listening. It absorbs the beliefs you feed it, whether consciously or unconsciously, and begins to filter the world through that lens. When you truly believe in something, especially in yourself, you act differently. You carry yourself with confidence. You take risks. You persist when others quit. You interpret challenges not as signs to stop, but as steps to grow. That belief becomes a silent engine driving your decisions, shaping your behavior even when you don't realize it. But here's the challenge. Most people don't consciously choose their beliefs. They inherit them. From family, school, media, and past experiences, they adopt limitations that were never theirs to carry. Somewhere along the way, someone said they weren't smart enough, talented enough, attractive enough, or worthy enough, and they believed it. And that belief became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because when you believe something long enough, your mind seeks evidence to prove it right. That's how powerful belief is. To change your life, you must begin by changing your beliefs. Start by questioning the ones that hold you back. Who told you that you couldn't? Where did you accept that? That is truth. Woof. Begin to reprogram your mind with new beliefs. Beliefs rooted in strength, in potential, in purpose. Speak them until they take root. Visualize them until they feel real. Act in alignment with them until they become your default mindset. You don't have to wait until you see the evidence before you believe. In fact, belief comes first. Success is not the cause of belief, it is the result of it. The world mirrors what you believe to be true about yourself. Believe you're worthy of love, and love finds you. Believe you can achieve, and the doors begin to open. So ask yourself, what do I truly believe about me? Because whatever the answer is, that's exactly who you're becoming. Change your belief, and you change everything. Definiteness of purpose is the foundation of all true achievement, and it is also the spark that ignites a lasting positive mental attitude. When you know exactly what you want, your thoughts become focused, your actions become intentional, and your attitude becomes a force of nature. Clarity of purpose gives direction to your mind. It eliminates confusion, doubt, and distraction, the three greatest enemies of a strong mindset. But with definiteness of purpose, you gain control. You begin to live by design, not by default. A clear purpose gives your mind something to work toward. It becomes the reason you get up early, the fire that keeps you moving when things get tough. Purpose creates vision, and vision fuels hope. It's hard to stay positive when you feel lost. It's easy to be discouraged when you have no destination. But once you decide where you're going and why it matters, your mental attitude starts to shift. Obstacles don't discourage you. They motivate you. Setbacks don't stop you. They teach you. A strong purpose gives meaning to your struggle, and meaning makes the struggle worth it. When your mind knows what it's aiming for, it starts filtering out the noise. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop entertaining thoughts that don't serve your mission. You'll become more disciplined, more resilient, and more optimistic, not because life gets easier, but because you now have a reason to keep pushing. The stronger your purpose, the stronger your positivity. They feed each other. Your purpose keeps your mind centered, and your attitude keeps your purpose alive. People without a purpose tend to drift. They get caught up in comparison, envy, fear, and negativity. But those with a burning desire, a definite aim, move with confidence. They walk with power. Their belief becomes contagious. And here's the truth. You don't need to know every step. You just need to know the direction. Purpose doesn't mean having every detail figured out. It means having a compelling reason to move forward, no matter what. If you want to develop a powerful, positive attitude, begin by defining your purpose. Write it down. Own it. Let it become your personal mission. Then align your thoughts, words, and actions with it every day. When your mind has a target, it stops wandering. When your heart has a reason, it stops doubting. And when your spirit is fueled by purpose, positivity flows effortlessly, because now you're living for something greater than the struggle. You attract what you are, not what you want, not what you pretend to be, but what you genuinely are at your core. Life reflects you, the energy you carry, the mindset you hold, the beliefs you embody. All of it sends a silent signal out into the world, and the world responds accordingly. If you're constantly thinking thoughts of lack, fear, or resentment, you'll find yourself surrounded by more reasons to feel that way. But when you radiate confidence, gratitude, purpose, and belief, you begin to draw people, opportunities, and outcomes that match that energy. Everything in your life is a mirror. Your relationships mirror how you feel about yourself. Your career reflects the standards you hold. Your daily experiences echo the frequency you operate on. And it's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about aligning your internal world, the kind of external reality you want to create. You can't attract abundance with a scarcity mindset. You can't attract love while carrying self-doubt. You can't draw success while constantly expecting failure. This is why personal growth is so powerful. The more you grow, the more your outer world grows with you. When you elevate your mindset, you elevate your life. You begin to naturally repel negativity and attract positivity. It's not magic, it's alignment. Like attracts like. When you become the kind of person who lives with purpose, acts with integrity, and believes in their own worth, life begins to match that vibration. But here's the key. Most people try to change their circumstances without ever changing themselves. They chase success without becoming the kind of person who sustains success. They want meaningful relationships without becoming someone who brings depth and value. But life doesn't work that way. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. So ask yourself, what kind of energy am I putting into the world every day? What thoughts am I entertaining? What do I truly believe about myself and others? These are not small questions. They are the blueprint of your future. The good news is you can change the answers. You can choose a new mindset. You can build new habits. You can raise your standards and shift your identity to match the kind of life you truly want. Become the person who attracts what you desire. Be the energy you want to experience. Because once you transform your inner world, the outer world will have no choice but to follow. Positive mental attitude, PMA, isn't something you can choose once and then forget about. It is a daily discipline, a practice you must commit to every single day without exception. It's not a temporary mood you adopt in moments of success or joy. It's a mindset that requires constant attention and reinforcement. Just as your body needs exercise to stay strong, your mind needs consistent practice to maintain its positive focus. PMA is about cultivating a mental environment where optimism, resilience, and belief thrive, no matter what the day may bring. Each day you face a choice to let life's circumstances dictate your mood, or to consciously choose the attitude you bring into every situation. And this is where discipline comes in. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is the ability to intentionally choose how they respond. It's easy to be positive when everything is going your way. But PMA is not about easy. It's about consistent action, especially in the face of adversity. Life doesn't give us a break because we've had a bad day. We must decide to rise above the challenges, and actively engage your minds in positive thinking. You must make the decision to reinforce your mindset every morning. What do you choose to think about first when you wake up? What's the internal conversation that starts your day? Are you thinking of possibilities, opportunities, and gratitude? And gratitude. Or are you dwelling on worries, what's not working, or the obstacles in your way? The moment you wake up, your mind is open. It's a blank canvas. What you paint on that canvas in the first few moments of your day will influence everything that follows. When you begin with a focused, positive mindset, you set the tone for the entire day. This daily discipline extends to how you respond to challenges. It's easy to get discouraged by setbacks. But remember, PMA isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about how you choose to face it. Every time you meet a challenge with determination, optimism, and belief that you can overcome it, you strengthen your ability to maintain PMA, even in difficult times. Each small victory, each challenge faced with the right attitude, becomes part of your mental training, reinforcing your resilience and mental toughness. The power of PMA lies in its consistency. It's not enough to feel positive on the good days. You must also cultivate this mindset during the bad ones. By making it a habit, a discipline that you practice even when it feels hard, you create a foundation of strength that will carry you through anything. Anabja. Positive mental attitude isn't a one-time achievement. It's a lifelong commitment, a mindset you strengthen every day, no matter what the circumstances may be. The more you make this discipline a part of your routine, the more it will become second nature, and the more unstoppable you'll become.